Your Grace, the Archbishop of Lilongwe Archdiocese, Bishop George Desmond Tambala, all our priests, all the religious gathered in here, and our mothers behind. I am standing here to give a small reflection on consecrated life, and where possible, I'm going to chip in a few Chichewa words, maybe for the sake of our mothers, that they may grasp whatever we are sharing. I prepared something very small, but at the end of it, we are going to have some reflections, some observations, which we are going to share as consecrated people. Borrowing from the UISG, we are celebrating 27th World Day for Consecrated Life. 27th World Day for Consecrated Life. That means this event started very long time ago. And the 50th, 27th World Day, that should be 27 years ago. And this is our chance and our opportunity to thank God for the gift of consecrated life. At the same time, it is also our time to renew our commitment to live with passion within the diversity of our charisms and ministries. Because of this, we chose that we want to make the feelings of Christ our own choices, so that we may be able to reach everyone, especially the little ones and those who are living in poverty and in situations of extreme vulnerability. If we talk about consecration, consecration literally means sacred, dedicated to service, even worship. But most importantly, we say, we as consecrated people, religious, they say our life is distinguished from other forms of consecrated life. Why? By our liturgical character, public profession of evangelical councils, fraternal life led in common, and a witness given to the union of Christ with the Church. And this is according to the Catholic Catechism 925. With this, I thought we could reflect consecrated life as a life of professional lovers of God and humans. Consecrated life as a life of professional lovers of God and humans. And when we talk about professional in the common world, it is experts, akaswiri, pogonda mulungu ndi anthu. And this is supported by the church. The church documents, they say, consecrated life is an evangelical way of life, rooted in the New Testament. Evangelical way of life. And the mere fact that it is evangelical, that means we are like agents of evangelization. And the Lumen Gentium 42, with regard to each of the basic counsels, says, chastity, poverty, and obedience are the counsels that shows their connection with the Lord, inasmuch as they are in imitation of his life and sharing in his poverty, virginity, and obedience. We are actually sharing with the Lord in his poverty, virginity, and obedience. And furthermore, we say Christ is the one who established consecrated life by example and his ways. When the disciples came to him of John the Baptist to ask, Lord, where do you live? They said, come and see. Come and see. So they went, stayed with him, and saw what he was doing, and they were satisfied and continued to follow him. The church documents still further say, renewal of consecrated life is the constant return to Christ, constant following, constant return. That means we go a little wayward, then we return, we go a little and we return. So it's a constant renewal, constant return to the following of Christ. When we are doing this, the gospel must be the soul, which gives life and strength to the constitutions as a supreme rule of all institutes. The gospel. Because Christ taught with words and example, so the gospel must be the soul, which gives life and strength to the constitutions and the supreme rule of all institutes. Still, the documents say the mystery of religious life should be understood and lived out, not as something parallel to Christian life or something added on to it, but an actualization of it. Meaning that, first of all, we have to be Christians. Then, as we live the Christian life, we make it better and better every time and add on to what we have received in religious formation, in religious life, the years of experience. With this, we have to come to an actualization of Christian life. It's not that Christian life is this side and then religious life is following on the parallel side. But building on Christian life, we have to be religious, there actualized in the evangelization, in the fulfilling of God's commandments. They say a consecrated person is one who gives himself or herself wholly to God so that she lives as a duty exclusively for him, God alone. And that's this one we can find in Perfect Caritatis 5, number 1. His or her life as a consecrated person, therefore, is service, honor rendered to God through undivided love. And that's where the professional comes, undivided love. And the consecrated person is made of particular, is made of a particular experience of God, which satisfies all the aspirations of man. All what man aspires for is found in God. And the consecrated person is made up of this experience. And the life of God fills the life of one who is consecrated to him. Vatican II reminds us that freedom for a prayerful lifestyle is the primary reason for religious profession. Therefore, all religious have a duty, each according to his proper vocation, of operating zealously and diligently in building up and increasing the whole mystical body of Christ, and for the good of the particular churches. And the particular churches are the churches where we are located. So, operating zealously and diligently in building and increasing the whole mystical body of Christ in all our respective parishes, in all our respective institutions where we are. We are reminded that we have to be operating zealously and diligently for the growth of the body of Christ. And the body of Christ where we are located. As the body of Christ where we are located grows, then the whole church is influenced. That the body of Christ wholly will grow. So the church documents still say it is their duty to foster these objectives primarily by means of prayer, works of penance, and example of their own life. Foster these objectives primarily by means of prayer, works of penance, and example of their own life. The church is challenging us that we have to go back to prayer, we have to do works of penance, and by the example of our life, foster objectives that are going to build the church. Then, still we have other people in the church who have commented on what consecrated life is all about. And this is the group of theologians. The group of theologians have also commented what consecrated life is all about. The theologians say, especially St. Alphonsus, he saw in the Incarnation, Passion, and Eucharist a breathtaking instance of God's love seeking union with us as humans. The Incarnation, the Passion, and the Eucharist as a breathtaking instance of God's love seeking union with us. And what he suggests that on our part, submission to the will of God is the response of our love, seeking to be united with God, the God we love. The main goal of consecrated life is to place God at the center of our lives, and best symbolized by the vow of celibacy, in which we make a gift of our very hearts to God. And that is the opinion of theologians. We have to exercise the vow of celibacy, in which we make a gift of our very hearts to God. And with St. Thomas of Aquinas says the religious are so called because they dedicate themselves totally to the service of God, as if offering God a whole burnt sacrifice. And this we can also find in Romans 12, verse 1. Offer yourselves